Tommy from ActiveContext.net. I'm here today to talk about a movie called Antrum, the deadliest movie ever made, or the deadliest film ever made, whatever the title was. And it is a quite unusual film for me because it's in the form of a documentary kind of, not really a documentary, but more like a story told about a movie which has a curse on it, much like cigarette burns from the Masters of Horror series, John Carpenter's masterpiece, I would say, one of his masterpieces. It's really, really good. They also make comparisons with this in the movie, and The Ring, maybe some other movie as well, which I cannot remember right now. But in the cigarette burns, there were reference to a movie called Le Fin Absolute du Monde, I believe. More or less the end of the world. And whoever saw it died. I won't spoil that movie for you in any way because I really I really thought that Cigarette Burns movie was amazing. Anyway, in this movie, we have kind of 10 15 minutes before the actual movie begins, we have interviews with the people that are researching this movie. Nobody has ever seen it because every time it has been viewed in the theaters has burned down, or other people that have seen it has got a massive stroke from it, or whatever, really. And that goes on for 10 15 minutes. Then we get the actual movie that the producers of this movie have found somewhere in the only single surviving reel of it, kind of. And they show us the movie. It's a long disclaimer that we as an audience are aware that the movie can cause us pain, it can cause us seizures, it can cause us even death, and that we do it on our own risk, that we watch this movie. Well, I did watch the movie. The actual movie is about a couple of kids. I think it's a young boy about maybe 7, and I think it's his sister, which might be, I don't know, 17, 18, something like that. And they are digging a hole in the forest to retrieve their dead dog's soul from hell. And also in the beginning, before the actual movie begins, there are, in the disclaimer, there are it is stated that in this print that they have found, there is also some added extra footage, and it's added because someone has added it and they didn't want to remove it because they don't know the significance of it. But there is a significance of it, they think, actually. And as this movie begins, the dog dies and they start to go out in the forest and they want to retrieve his soul from hell. And there are subliminal, is that the word? Subliminal messages throughout the movie. There are blinks and symbols that go in for kind of half a second. No, not half a second, a tenth of a second now and then. And it might seem like scratches to the movie in some way, or and there are some kind of disturbing images of someone posing as, I guess, a demon in there that are not actually in sync with the plot line. So those are the scenes that someone has added in there. So the producers claim. Um, it goes a while, and there are more and more of this story about them digging a hole, and there is also a what do you say, a story about them getting. There is a book, kind of, that they follow. There are certain rituals that need to be followed because to enter hell, and there are different layers in hell. So I think there are 5 or 6 layers. I think that is a reference to Dante's Inferno, and the 9 circles of hell. But I don't think it's 9 circles. I think it's 5 or 6. And for each of these circles, there are things that show up. I don't know what the actual. Never mind. These circles of hell or tears or whatever they're called in the movie are like chapters, so to speak. So I believe there's one chapter about Cerberus, the three-headed hellhound dog from Greek mythology. And there is some about some demon which I cannot remember the name of right now, which I should, because that is the main point of the entire movie. Anyway, they come across these I don't know, hippies, hunters, whatever. And now things really get turned to the worst for these kids. I won't spoil it for you, but now the sister, the older kid, really gets freaked out, and now it really gets terrorizing, even for us viewers. But then it ends, and I'm watching it, and I'm wondering what happened now. But then it still continues after it says the end, or fin, or whatever it says. I can't remember. So it still continues a few minutes after that, and then the end credits roll on this film that someone has found in I believe it was a garage sale or something. And during the end credits, we have more analyses from people that I'm not sure if they have seen it. I think they have seen it, and they reveal to us that the actual reel was covered with symbols pasted onto the actual imagery, so we can get a double exposure kind of thing. And those are the subliminal, is that a word? Images that we see throughout the movie. And for some reason, they have done an analysis of it and counted like there are 94 symbols of blah blah blah. I don't know what it is, and there are also analysis of the sound, that the frequencies in the left and right channels are different, and that in turn makes people crazy when watching it. I'm crazy from the beginning, so I didn't really notice it, to be frank, if it even was something, which I doubt. But anyway, I really, really liked this movie. I thought it was a great illusion of a lost movie that someone has found and tried to share with the world. And the warnings throughout the beginning, they seem legit in that matter, that it's it looks really like a documentary about the movie. I don't really believe it, of course, but it really looks like a documentary on the movie. So it's not a found footage movie in that sense, because it's um, claimed to be a real movie. Um, I think it claimed to be filmed in the 70s or something like that. And since the movie is quite new, well, I'm old, so everything beyond 2000 is new for me. But I think it's from 2018 or something. But this movie in the movie is from the 70s, and it looks like it's from the 70s. So it's really well made, and there's scratches on it and all that. Um, so if I would to rate this movie, I would rate this quite high, actually. I would think that this is, let's say, 8, 9 out of 10. Say 9 out of 10. I think it's really, really um, good experience to watch it. I highly recommend it. That I do. Oh, I cannot put my finger there. So please like and subscribe, and I think I will see what I can come up with next. Thank you.